Hey everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I am showing you how to make the original Alpine stitch, which I made for my Alpine blanket. I've created a different variation because so many folks were complaining of having curling problems, and I have a tendency to be a little more loose with my crochet stitches, so I thought that I would create a variation for you all that would hopefully alleviate any of the headaches you might be having with curling on the Alpine blanket. Or if you've never tried it before, you shouldn't have any issues with curling. So we're just going to dive right in. So make sure you have a 5.5mm hook, a worsted weight yarn or size 4 yarn, and we're just going to get started. Okay, so as you can see, I've created a slip knot, and this particular pattern is worked in multiples of 7. So for the sake of time and this video, I'm going to do 14. So we're going to yarn over and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So for row 1, we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. Always remember the loop on the hook does not count as a chain. So we're starting down here, and if you look, I always like to describe to my students that these little guys right here, these little V's, are the chains that we're going to be working into. And so the 4th chain, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So right there in that one, we're going to work a double crochet, and that's a yarn over, insert your hook into that loop, yarn over, draw up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to do a double crochet in each stitch all the way across. So let me zoom you in just so you can see just a little better. So that was that first one we did, and now we're going to go right here into this next one. It's a yarn over, insert your hook, draw up a loop, and just pull through both of those. And this is a double crochet or triple crochet if you are in the UK. So this is the row that we're doing to set ourselves up for creating that really awesome texture that everybody has fallen in love with in the Alpine blanket. So just continue across with these double crochets. Just like this. And this yarn I'm using, if you're in the States, this yarn is from Walmart, and it is so soft and the color is so vibrant. So this is the last stitch, the one right before our knot. So we're going to double crochet in that one. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn. So in row 2, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So one thing I want to mention really quick before we get going, at the beginning and at the end of every row, no matter what, the chain 3 and the double crochet at the end of the row are always the same. You always start with a chain 3, you always end with a double crochet, even if you have a double crochet before that. And the reason for this is kind of the edging, so if you want to add a border, you'll have the freedom to do so, and it won't interrupt your interchanging front post stitches going across. So I just want to mention that because I think originally that was confusing some people, like why would we end with 2 double crochet on every other right side row? So what we just did would be considered the wrong side, and what we're about to do is the right side row. So if that was confusing, don't worry, you're going to understand as we move forward. So our chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Now, I think some people were confused thinking that the front post needed to be made right here, and that was causing curling as well. This whole post right here we actually want to reach all the way down when we get ready to work our triple crochet. Now originally in the pattern I had said double crochet, and I think that's what was causing really tight stitches for some people. But if you don't, if you crochet tight, this is the alternative I'm going to give you, and this is going to be included all in the pattern that I will link down below. So if you're a tight crocheter or you're finding that it's curling on you, this is your alternative option. You're going to wrap twice, and we are going to work a front post triple crochet. So instead of doing a double, which has been causing the curling, we're going to do a front post triple crochet. And so we're not going to go right here. That's not where we go. We go all the way down here to this double crochet, okay? So we're going to go down and we're going to work our triple, and that's just the yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 as you're finishing it off. So now you can see we've got this nice long vertical bar, and that's exactly what we're going for. So in the next stitch, all we're going to do is work a regular double crochet. Okay, so do you see how this is our edging stitch, this is our front post, there we've got our regular double crochet, that's the stitch that's pushed back, and now we're going to work a triple again. So we're skipping that post right there, we're going to go down here, and we're going to yarn over and just work that triple just like that, okay? So you can see how the texture is beginning to form. And just work a double in the next one, and then a front post triple. So wrap twice, insert down below, pull it up, and then do the yarn over, pull through 2 for a total of 3 times. So let me just lay it down real quick, and you can see the texture's already forming, okay? And we don't really have any curling because everything has got room to expand. So we just keep on with that, okay, that little pattern right there. And it's just a alternating between, I almost did. It's an alternating between front post triple crochets and double crochets. So I'm about to show you at the end what I was talking about. Wrap twice for those triples. Oops. Okay, so this would be considered the end of our stitch repeat, which is the double crochet, front post, triple crochet. And now what we're going to do is end it in the top of that turning chain. We're going to end it with a double crochet. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 2 double crochet right next to each other, but just remember, if we ignore those end stitches, right, you can see the pattern, and then we've got the end stitches to give ourselves a border if we want. I do want to mention right here, the craft yarn, no, the Crocheters Guild of America, I believe the standard is to chain 3. You can chain 3 or chain 2. If you noticed, you see how we've kind of got this hump right here. I typically crochet 2 at the beginning, but for some people that crochet more tight, that's not an option for them. But I just want to make a note, and I will in the pattern as well, make a note that if you're finding you're getting this hump thing and you don't like how that looks, you can do a chain 2 at the end and turn to start a new row, and that will be your double crochet, and you won't get this kind of hump looking thing. So now on to row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and this would be considered our wrong side row, and then all we're going to do, that chain 1 counts as a single crochet, and on every wrong side row you're simply going to single crochet all the way across. So this kind of helps give our front post stitches the height, and it helps to create definition in the stitches, which is, I think, what everybody loves about the Alpine, is that there's just such great texture, and it really doesn't even matter what yarn you use or what color you use. The texture is just so good. And it's funny too, because I created that design so quickly and I had no idea people would love it the way that they have. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to do really quick, the pattern does say chain 3 and turn. I'm going to chain 2 just for the sake of showing you what chain 3 versus chain 2 look like. So if you want to follow the pattern exactly, you would chain 3, but I'm going to chain 2 just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So remember, whatever you chain, whether 2 or 3 at the beginning, that counts as a double crochet. So we're on the right side again. If we look, we've got this front post triple crochet here. So that right there tells us I need to do a double crochet first. So we're gonna, remember that counts as 1. So now we're going into the next stitch, and you're just gonna go right into the top as normal. You're gonna work a double crochet. Then we've got the previous front side rows double crochet down there. So we're gonna wrap twice. We're gonna go all the way down to this post. So not up here, go down to the post, go behind it, and then begin working that stitch. And I want to show you, if I can, the reason for this. Do you see how the post stitches somewhat overlap with one another? So some people, they were thinking that you did the post stitches up here in these single crochets, and I just did not do a good job of clarifying that in the original video. I just assumed that's what people would think to do. And I apologize for that. But no, in order to create kind of this overlap in the front post stitches, you want to go all the way down to the previous front row, front row double crochet stitch and pull it up. And like I said, I'm going to work a couple more because you'll be able to see it a little clearly. But right here you can see how the front post stitches are overlapping one another, and that is the look we're going for. So we're going to do a double crochet into the next one, and then another front post triple. Remember, go all the way down to the previous front or right side row double crochet. So do you see how there's more stitch definition there? I'm wondering if I have a white backdrop, if you'd be able to see it a little bit better. So do a double crochet, then wrap twice, skip that front post, and reach down to that double crochet that you did before, just like that, and then do a double crochet into the next one, and then go all the way down, just like that, double crochet, and then one more front post triple. So we're going to go reach down to here on this last stitch, just like that, and then don't forget to go into the top of that chain 1 of the previous row. Oh my goodness. And then you want to work the ending double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down for a second, and hopefully you can kind of see, let me see if I block the light. It doesn't really work. You can kind of see how you've got, like I said, the overlap that we're looking for in the Alpine stitch. I think from this angle you can kind of see it. So do you see how we've got the overlap? That is what we're looking for. We want these bars to overlap one another. So I'm going to do another wrong side row. So that, remember, that's a chain 1. And then the chain 1 counts as a single crochet, and then you just simply single crochet all the way across, just like this. Just like that. And then chain 2 or 3, whichever one you prefer. And I want to show you real quick. So do you see how on the chain 3 row, this stitch right here is a little more loose, but on that chain 2 row, it's a little more tight? This is why I typically do chain 2s in place of a double crochet at the beginning of a row, because I don't have this loose kind of stitch right there. So again, that's a preference, chain 2 or chain 3, whichever you prefer. And then again, the placement of the double crochet and front post triple crochets are indicators of what you do the next time you get to the front side or right side row. Excuse me. So you would come down, we've got our double crochet as our starting stitch. You come down and you're going to work a front post triple crochet. Remember to go all the way down to the previous front or right side row double crochet post. Then you double crochet right above the next stitch. Then you're going to reach down, come all the way down like that, and work that stitch into the next one, and just continue alternating those stitches. And what's awesome is that once you get past like the first 3 rows, you get it. And you don't have to count anymore. You really don't even have to pay very much attention, especially if you're working like a blanket or something, because it's kind of self-explanatory once you get those first couple of rows done. And like I said, I apologize that I wasn't more clear and just didn't take into consideration, you know, that people hold yarn and their hooks tighter or looser than others. And I should have made notes for everyone, letting them know that, like, if you're experiencing curling or this or that, here's some alternatives that you could do to ensure that that doesn't happen. That was definitely my fault, so I apologize for that. And be sure, remember, you're going to crochet always in the very last stitch. So like I said, you can see the textures really popping. And again, the goal with these post stitches is you want them to overlap one another. That is why we do that single crochet on the wrong side row, because it helps give height to these stitches. And then also too, why we go all the way down to the previous right side row. So remember, you have a right side row, a wrong side row, and then you start a right side again. So you've got to skip that single crochet from the wrong side and go all the way down to the double crochet, not the post, the double crochet, because remember, we're going in the windows, okay? So hopefully, that helps. And you can add a border to this blanket. You can leave it blank. You can do it however you would like. I have done mine with fringe. I've added borders, just like single crochet borders. I've seen people do all different kinds of variations and stuff. I just love them. They're my favorite. This stitch is just so beautiful, and like I said, it makes any yarn look good, and it looks good on any color. It's just kind of incredible how amazing this stitch is. So I hope this was helpful, and like I said, I'm linking the free baby blanket size from the blog down below, and I'm also linking the Ravelry PDF, which will have baby blanket, crib, twin, full, queen, and king, all available for $5, so you have that option as well. And again, thank you so much for your patience and your feedback and letting me know how I could serve you better and be more helpful. And I just really love the Yarniacs community we have here on YouTube. It's just amazing. And I am so honored to be able to be a teacher in this online world. And so again, thank you so much. Be sure you subscribe, like this video, share it with a friend who is looking for a super textured blanket to try out themselves. And I will see you guys in the next video.